Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel Jedi Colorist. In case you didn't know it, I'm Jody. This is a short face-to-face introduction on this video. I haven't done a face-to-face recently, so I thought I'd pop in today and say hello to everyone. Welcome to all my new subscribers. Super happy to have you here. Today's video is a look at two products that the company Meeden has sent to me. Now, full disclosure, I am an affiliate with Meeden. I have been a fan of theirs for quite a while. I fell in love with their ceramic palettes, and then I tested out their acrylic paints and their heavy body paints. So there are a few videos here on the channel about Meeden products. I am an affiliate, but I do not get paid for reviews. They kindly send me products once in a while to have me play with, and there's no obligation for me to even do a video. So I am just sharing products here that I find useful as an adult colorist and hobbyist. So the two products that they sent me, one is a complete surprise and will be a fun test, but the one that I did request was the 96 color watercolor paint set. Now this is for all those who are full set syndrome people. This is a hefty palette. This would make an awesome gift for anybody just starting out. It has a swatch on the back, and we will go through everything in person, but this 96 colors includes 48 regular colors, 30 metallic colors, 12 macaron colors, which are also known as pastels, and 6 fluorescent colors. So I picked this one mainly because it included the extra colors, including the 30 metallic. And those were the ones that I was super interested in because I only have a few metallic colors, and they get used quite a bit. I do like a little bit of bling in my coloring books, and that is where I generally use watercolor paints. So when I am using watercolor paints, I am using them in both watercolored coloring books like I showed last week on my video, and also on non-watercolor paper in adult coloring books. So we today are going to test out these paints on both those type of adult coloring books and see how they work and how they do. So I will do an unboxing of this, and I haven't even taken it out of the package yet, so I'm quite excited. I did see this set done a review by Becky. She's a fellow YouTuber, and I will link her video in the comments below. Becky is a YouTuber in Australia, and so that means that Meeden does ship worldwide, so that's something to keep in mind. The other item that they sent me, which is a total surprise, is this box here, and it is a foldable paint brush cleaner. This is something that I definitely hadn't looked into previously. It was a total surprise. So we will also unbox this and give it a whirl. Let's find out if this is useful or just gimmick. I don't know. We'll find out together. So those are the two products we're going to look at today. I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you have used a Meeden product in the past, shout out below what the product was. Is it something that I've shown on my channel, or is it something that I need to test out and try for myself? Always looking for video suggestions, and you, the fellow colorists and watchers of my YouTube videos, are the ones that direct the channel. So go ahead and leave a comment below if these are the type of videos you like, or if you'd like to see something else. For now, let's take a look at these two products over on my desk, and we'll do some swatching, some unboxing, and some playing with these new products. All right, see you back at the desk. Okay, we're back at the desk, and let's take a look at the first product. This is the one I selected. Again, it is a watercolor paint set. It includes a watercolor paintbrush, a sketching pencil, 2 art sponges, 1 eraser, 1 built-in palette, 2 watercolor swatch sheets. So that's great. I hope it's on watercolor paper. We'll have to check that out. It's 96 colors, 100% non-toxic, foldable and portable. And on the back, here is some swatches. They're all named, and that's about it. It says made in China, and it does have a website there, so hold that up. So we're not going to spend too much time on the color chart here, but that's what they're saying the colors look like. So let's take a look. I have taken it out of the box already, or otherwise the box wouldn't be this light. I'm just avoiding a bunch of sound and plastic. So here is the palette itself. It is made of hard white plastic. It has the Meeden logo on the front, the Meeden name, and then there's kind of some like water ripples on here. I think you can see that in the camera. The back is totally flat. Let's take a look and open it. It has a front clip closure. We'll open it up this way so that you can, now we're going to turn off the ring light. Hopefully there is enough light there. I'll turn the ring light on again. So the palette itself has a fold out mixing tray, and I'll just show you how I did that. So it comes like this, closed up. You can fold it out all the way and it'll just hang off the edge, but then it's kind of tilted and your paint is going to run down, and that's kind of also not great space wise for me on my desk. So I plan on removing the palette. So then you're just going to hold it upright 90 degrees and you pull straight up and it comes out. I did take this out of the plastic. This is a pre-done overlay plastic. So this would go to the top section. Then is great. This is watercolor paper. It is cold press watercolor paper. And then this is, and it's pre-printed. So again, this is for the top section. This is for the bottom section, and they lay over like that. So if you didn't want to do a swatch sheet, you could just use this as kind of a guide. I'm not sure how true the colors are though, so we will have to do some swatching. And again, this is the swatch chart for that. I do like that it's already pre-written out. I do like that it's in English and there isn't any and we'll check for spelling, because sometimes Chinese products come with creative spelling. Okay, let's take a look at the paint itself. Okay, well, here is the pencil, and it's not sharpened. I'm not sure I will sharpen that. Here is the paintbrush. No size number on it, but this looks to be a number 6 or 8 round. Nice point. It does have sizing on or transit glue on there, so I'll just maybe give it a little bit of a soak over there. This is the eraser. I'll turn the camera light back on. This is the eraser, just a regular rubber eraser. I'm not sure how clean it's going to stay being in here with the paint, so I might actually just remove that and the pencil, but it is nice that they sent it. And here we go with a sponge, and here is a larger sponge up here. Now the sponges are meant for you to clean off your brush, and I haven't really used the sponges too much on my paintbrushes that have actual bristles, but I do use it when I use a paintbrush like a water brush. These bristles are a lot tougher and they hold up a bit more to that. So anyways, those are the sponges. I want to see if gonna close this and see if things fall out. So you can see if it closes well without that extra palette there. The mixing plate, I should say. Okay, it closes up. There is a hole here now though, so that would not let anything fall out, but if you had wet paint, you might get some leakage out of there. So interesting though. I did want to see how that worked. So here is okay, so there we go. So interesting. It does open and close well. I was wondering if the paints would fall out. And so far, they are not falling out. They are in, let's take a look at the paints themselves. The metallic ones, there's 30 of them. They are these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sixes, so there's 30 metallics. Then we've got 12 different sets or different pans of the macaron or the pastels, and then we've got 6 neon. Okay, and then down below here we've got the 48 regular colors. Now you can get this palette in a 48 set, and in that case you would just get this bottom section and this top section would not be here. It would just be a mixing tray. So that is available as well. I will link in the video description all of the products that I showed today, and there is a discount code always at Meeden, and it's always on the bottom of my video descriptions. It's JI Colorist, and you can get a discount for that. In fact, let me just put it on screen for you so that it's right handy for you. Meeden is actually celebrating their 10-year anniversary. So they are a well-established company. They've been around for quite a while. This is their 10-year anniversary here in September. So that's kind of fun. Let's see if these fall. I'm going to take the pencil out of there and see if these fall. Okay, one did fall out. Interesting. Let's go this way. And none fell out. A little bit loose. Okay, so that's good to know. I mean, I will obviously be using this in here, and it'll keep them divided. And this is slightly raised, so it does help probably keep things in their place. Now, if you don't like the order that these came in, not only do the individual pans come out, but you can also remove the 6 sets. So let me just grab a little flat edge screwdriver here, and I'll pop one out just so you can see them. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Derwent paint pans, but they also come in 6s. So these stay in pretty good. To get them out, you usually just push them from the bottom, and then they come out. And they do have little side grips, little tabs on the sides to kind of hold them into that area there. So if you don't like the way they are set up, you can certainly, now I want to make sure I put this back in properly. Just a quick note while I put this palette back together. There is a draw for this exact palette. It is sponsored by Meeden, and I will have more details about the draw later in this video. So while I will do some swatching of all 96 colors, I don't want to have you watch me do that. I will certainly do a swatch card. I'll complete the swatch cards that Meeden provided, and I will definitely show you them during this video. But what I will do is go ahead and activate the metallic paints, because I want to swatch those on a little bit of black paper as well. I do have my other metallic paints swatched here in this book, so I wanted to swatch them here. So I've drawn already 30 circles on here and written down the names of them, so that saves a bit of time. So I might have you watch me do a few of the odd and unusual metallic colors, because there are quite a few, and they seem like ones that I certainly don't have in my metallic paints already in my arsenal. So let me spray these down with a little bit of water to get them activated. While these are getting activated, let's take a quick look at the other box that was sent. Okay, here is the second box that was sent, and again, this is something that I wasn't expecting. It is called a Meeden Foldable Paintbrush Cleaner, a foldable water cup for easy storage and carry. Okay, it says quick cleaning, one-click start, water circulation, large capacity, organized brush storage, and a practical painting gift. Well, let's find out. Okay. All right. This is not at all what I thought a paint. Okay. So according to the side of the box, before I put the box away, it says that this is a white one. It also comes in blue, yellow, or pink. And on the bottom of the box, large capacity water reservoir. Okay. So 3 cups worth of water. 5 different size brush grooves for brush holding and drying. 14 flush capacity, so 650 ml, so almost a full water bottle. So if you're going to fill this up, it is 2.5, 2 and a bit worth of cups. Okay, let's see how it works. Okay, this must be the, okay, so we've got Meeden folding brush washer. Okay, and this popped off. Okay, so this obviously is meant to. This pops up. Let me see. Okay, well that went pretty easy. So it's got a Meeden's name there. There are 2 grooves here that fit. So this groove fits right there. There's a groove back there, so you know you've got it on, because otherwise it's unstable. So that fits like that. Okay. So how does the bottom come off? Okay, it just lifts off. So definitely you're going to be using 2 hands carrying this back to the sink to empty. At least I will be. And let's go put some water in this. So this screws off and you can fill it with water. Okay. Let's go put some water in it. I'll be right back. Okay, now I filled this up about half full. I didn't want to fill it right to the top in case it leaks, and I thought less might be more just to try it out. So there's nothing but a big hole down here. So I'm just going to put my finger over it to turn it upside down, and then, okay. So this is filling up, filling up. Is it going to stop? Okay. I think it stopped. Okay, so that automatically fed in there. I have already cleaned this off from the transit glue, but as you can see, there are a few little ridges along here, so you could rinse your paintbrush off like that. I'm just going to grab a cloth. Okay. I'm going to shift this upwards, and so you'll still be able to see it in screen. So you need to keep this level. Okay, note to self. Okay, I drained some of the water out. It was getting a little too full for my liking, so that's good to know. You can push the valve here and it did allow the water to go down. Okay, learning as we go here, live on video. So this is bronze. Sorry, this is metallic copper. Okay, we're going to have to let this dry fully for it to actually give a good result. It's pretty nice. I'm gonna wash my paintbrush out. So I'm going to use this paintbrush cleaner whilst I do the swatching and see how effective it actually is. And this is the Meeden paintbrush, so and I'll use this for a while, and then I may switch to a smaller paintbrush. Okay, I'll keep doing this, and I will bring you back when I get to some of these really cool colors. Like we've got red, purple, we've got steel blue, some pretty interesting names. I'll bring you back when we're going to do those swatches. Okay, I'm bringing you back to do metallic mint, and this is really pretty. I love that color. So there's metallic mint, and let's do it on black paper. We'll have to see how metallic these are after they've dried. Okay, haven't emptied the water yet, but I think that it's probably time. So I'm just going to push this down, and the water goes down and then refills automatically. Now I've got quite a bit of mica on there, so I will have to probably definitely make sure that I'm cleaning that off, because you can see the mica on the bottom of the little reservoir there, but it seems to be working pretty good so far. So let's look at metallic turquoise. Wow, that's nice. That's nice. I did switch to a number 4 brush, so just slightly smaller, to do some of the rest of the swatches. There was nothing wrong with the Meeden brush, it was just a little bit large for what my purposes. Okay, I'll continue on the swatches and I'll be back. Okay, I've played with this for a bit, the paint brush cleaner, and while I do appreciate and do like the fact that there are ribbed lines on the bottom of it, so that I can actually kind of clean my paintbrush fairly good, I don't like the fact that the water is auto-fed and continues, so if I drain any of it, it automatically raises up and it fills. There isn't a lip, so it's very full. If you had a large paintbrush in it and you're trying to clean it at all, water is going to be spilling everywhere. So I have put a bamboo cloth underneath it because I'm worried about that. And I think if there is a way to control how much water goes into the reservoir here, that would be a better design. But I do think that it's a little bit iffy. I have only done half of the swatches, and already I have been through the half container of water that I did use, and yeah, so I'm not thinking I'm sold on this, and sorry Meeden, but that's my practical use. It's not tippy. I'm not worried about it spilling over, but I am worried about it spilling over water wise from that small reservoir. So just thought I would bring you to that attention. I did go ahead and put, these are good for holding brushes. They hold them great. There are enough for 5 brushes there of varying sizes, so that's nice. They just kind of snap on and off, so it's a silicone rubber area right there. So that part is good. The water, you know, is everything. But also, I have just finished cleaning this, but there is quite a bit of mica that ends up pooling on the bottom of the reservoir, so you will have to make sure that you are cleaning that as well. So just a few thoughts that I wanted to share before I give up totally trying to use that, and I am still going through the metallics, and once I'm done the metallics I will come back and maybe we'll do the fluorescent ones together, because I don't have any other fluorescent paint. But as you can see right now, the water right here is seeping out. In fact, now that I've touched, the water actually has followed my finger all the way to the edge here, and that makes me nervous. So I'm going to drain some of it, and that part is good, but it does just fill right back up again, and yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Okay, back to my swatching. Okay, so here is the paint cleaner. There's still water on the bottom. I simply have taken, so to remove it, simply pull it off. Be quick about it because there is a hole right there. If you want to be safer, I was putting my finger over top of the hole to put it on and off. I've left some water here just so you can see kind of how the mechanism works. So the water pours into here, fills up this little area here. You push down on here and it drains and then automatically feeds from the side. And if you can see down here, there is the ridges along to clean the brush. Now I do have water inside here, not super dirty, but you can see the mica floating around in there as well. So and you can see the mica on here. If I just simply wipe that out, it seems to clean up really easily, so that's good. Also, I will just wash that out in the sink as well. But so yeah, I don't know how often I would use this. I think if you had some kids and you wanted to have a picnic table outside where you didn't mind if water poured everywhere, it kind of would be fun. For my desk, I don't have a lot of space, so I think I will just continue using for the rest of this my Dollar Tree water cup and use that to clean my paintbrushes in between. That does mean I'm going to need both a clean water cup and a dirty water cup, which is, I was hoping this would solve that, but I think that for now, until unless there's a mechanism that I'm not seeing other than just pushing this, I'm not seeing how I can control how much water pours into the reservoir. So unfortunately, I'm not sure that I would be giving this a thumbs up. If any of you have this, if there are any tricks that I'm missing, leave them in the comments below, and maybe I'm just missing how to do something, which could totally be the issue. All right, let me take this away, clean up, grab some fresh water, and continue on with my swatching. I have finished swatching the metallic ones. I'm just going to let them finish drying those so we can get to the best viewing of them. I did only one layer of paint on it. I think that's a fair way to swatch. When you're actually using it in painting though, in my coloring books, I do often have to do 2 layers of metallic paint in order to get the shine that I want. So I will keep that in mind when I'm evaluating. All right, let me clean up and I'll be right back. Okay, I've started to swatch out the pastel colors, and I just wanted to point out that this peach orange and this bisque would make some good flesh colors. So for some lighter skin toned. Anyways, I do think the bisque, and you could even probably lighten that a little bit more. So yeah, that would be nice. And then we've got persimmon red, and I'm not sure why this would be considered a pastel tone, but and we've got watermelon. And the watermelon to me looks a little bit more like bubblegum pink. Okay, I'll continue swatching. Just wanted to bring you in to take a look at the bisque and the peach orange. Oh my, doing the fluorescent colors. This fluorescent pink, whoo, that is fluorescent. Very, very hot pink, very, very fun. Not sure when I would use it, but maybe I'll have to start using fluorescents like Maya. Whoa, this fluorescent orange is also bright, bright. Very fun. Let's do the green. Definitely fluorescent, but I think that probably the yellow, let's do that one. Yes, that yellow is definitely bright. Wow. Very, very fluorescent. Very highlighter. Okay, I'll be back when both swatch cards are full. For the bottom 48, I'm not going to pre-spray them because these are the regular colors, and I'm just going to wet the brush and go right in to see how well they re-wet. And yes, they re-wet really nicely, really easily, so this should go much faster because I'm not going to need to pre-spray. And I have moved on to my Dollar Tree water cup, and we'll just get on with the rest of these swatches, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's take a look at how our paint swatches turned out. This is the metallic paints. The ones that I really liked was the metallic powder pink. It's a very pale pink. I also like the metallic light purple. I thought that was very pretty. The metallic Fandango pink didn't seem to be very metallic, but it could also be that I need to swatch it again. But for the most part, they seem to be fairly good. The metallic forest green, I think, is a pretty color. The Mars black is fine. Very impressed with these. The metallic purple, the neon purple, never really saw neon purple before. It is bright color, but definitely these four fluorescent colors very good. And yeah, I wouldn't consider these, they called them macaron colors, and normally I refer to those as pastels, but not all of these I think are overly pastel. So maybe I'm thinking of macarons as a different thing. But the metallic Viva Magenta is also very pretty. So let's take a look at these on black. And here they are. Let's move this out of the way. So here they are on black. Some of the colors, so this is white, so that's supposed to be that light. This is light yellow, so that should be light. This is mint. The green doesn't show up a whole lot. It does show up a lot better on the white paper. So most of my coloring books are white paper, so that is fine. I just like to use the black paper to really show me whether or not the colors are actually very metallic. So the light yellow, sunlit gold is okay. The orange, let's see how it looks over here. It's very much brighter over here. Not super metallic, but yeah, and lots of different blues. The aqua blue over here. So we've got light blue and aqua blue. Over here, let's see, we've got the light blue and aqua blue here. So there's definitely more of a difference on the white, and I think that's just, they're more similar here on the black. So yeah, your paints will look different on black versus white paper. So really you need to kind of swatch on the paper that you're going to be using the paint on the most. But yeah, there's the turquoise there, and here's the turquoise here. And again, the ocean blue, ocean. Some interesting colors like this steel blue. It's not a color that you often, or at least the name is unique. So yeah, so very interesting. Happy with those. Let's take a look at the non-metallic, so the regular 48 colors, and those are here. These re-wet, sorry, here we go. These re-wet super easy, and it's still drying a little bit, but this black tea was an interesting color. It's red with some black undertones, so very interesting. Now, the cerulean blue, lake blue, ultramarine, those definitely look different. The medium blue is different. Then we've got dark blue. This isn't what I would consider a dark blue. This more looks like a royal blue to me. And the indigo is definitely not my idea of indigo. It again is more of a royal blue, so it doesn't seem very dark. It's looking a lot darker on camera than it is in real life. Then we've got blue violet, which just kind of looks purple to me. So maybe maybe I don't see the blue violet. This black green is a gorgeous color. It's a really, really dark green with some black undertones. So they do seem to do some dark colors really well. This rust red is interesting. So yeah, some different 48 colors, some different colors. Definitely some good oranges and red orange. Quite a few reds and different shades of red, which are good because you don't get a lot of that. And this says lemon yellow and permanent yellow. There wasn't really a light yellow, but you could also do that with just more water to get a lighter color. All right, those are the swatches. Let's put this aside. I'm going to pull out 3 different books. I'll show you all 3 books right now and that I'm going to work in. I have 2 watercolor books. This one is Woodland Watercolor by Claire Therese Gray. It is 200 GSM watercolor paper. I am going to work a little bit on this page here, this cute otters page. It's got some a river running through it, so I wanted to use some water and see if it moved well on the paper. So this again is watercolor paper, so I'll do a little bit of this. I also did not include this on my last video, and I did it for 2 reasons. One, I had previously included this on my foreign coloring books, and 2, I actually just didn't have it in the same spot as all my other watercolor books, and that's because I have it with my foreign coloring books. This is definitely also printed on watercolor paper, so I am going to go ahead, and I have used watercolor in this book previously, and I thought I would work a little bit on this page. So those are 2 adult coloring books with watercolor paper. I am then also going to, and I'm going to work on this a little bit on camera and the rest off camera, so you're not going to have to sit through me painting all these pictures. But I did want to test out these paints on multiple surfaces. I am also going to use it in Shooting Star by Maria Trollet. Now this is not watercolor paper. This is just good quality paper that I have previously used watercolors in before, so I kind of do know how it reacts. I do not plan on treating this paper. You can treat paper, and I often do with Daniel Smith watercolor ground, and that will make your paper have some sizing on it so that you are able to move the paint as if it was watercolor paper. But I am going to paint just directly on this non-watercolor paper because that's what we do here in adult coloring. We don't follow the rules, we just have fun. So I am going to work on this page a little bit. It is Space Timber this month, so I thought that this would be a great picture for that. So that will round out my 3 different tests for these paints. I will be using both the metallic and the regular colors on here. I will only use these paints, and we'll see how it goes. So again, here are the completed swatches. If that's all you were here to see, is the unboxing and the swatching portion of this video, then thank you so much for joining me. If you want to stick around and see how I use these paints in adult coloring, then by all means grab a cup of tea and let's get on with the rest of the video. All right, the draw information for the Meeden 96 watercolor palette is as follows. 1, this draw is being sponsored and the prize is coming directly from Meeden. They will be shipping it to you. So in order to do that, there are 2 things you must do. 1, you should follow or subscribe to Meeden on either YouTube or Instagram. So I have included the Meeden channel in the video description, so you can just click on there and give them a subscribe. And number 2 is you need to complete a Google Doc form, which is also listed in the video description, and that is just your email address, your name, and first and last name. I am the one who's going to have all the draw information, and I will do the draw on September 30th. I will then contact the winner via email, and you have 48 hours to get back to me that you acknowledge that you have won the prize. Once I have someone confirmed, I will forward your email and name to Meeden, and they will get in touch with you and have the product sent directly to you. So easy as that. All the information is in the video description. Follow Meeden at Meeden Arts here on YouTube, and complete the Google Doc form, which is also linked in the video description. Good luck, everybody. I'm super happy that Meeden was able to provide this free palette for us. Okay, I've let this dry, so I have some pink clouds right now. I'm going to add other colors to it. The elephant is gray and pink, and I was able to, you may have noticed that the yellow was bleeding into the gray. I was able to lift that off. I should have waited until this area was dry before adding the pink and gray to the elephant. So that's the problem with watercolors, is if you put them wet together, they will mix with each other, which is also a benefit to watercolors. So just proves that there is sizing on this paper, because there is movement. So I am going to deepen up some shadows, and I'm going to add some other colors. I'm going to make this metallic here, and when I use regular watercolors, I have been using the palette, just so you know, and it has cleaned up. There's been a little bit of staining here, but that's understandable. When I do use metallic though, I am going to use straight from the actual pan. So I'm going to, I'll just do that right now. I'm going to use the metallic Viva Magenta. So that's kind of the brighter, and I'm going to use it directly from the actual paint pan and not go to a palette first. And I am using, this is the Meeden's paint watercolor paintbrush. I am going to probably need to do more than one coat for the metallic, and I am trying to put it on fairly uniformly. Okay, I've now added a third color to these clouds, and to get rid of any harsh lines, I've put some water on my paintbrush and I'm softening the edges, and it's working really well. Going to finish up with these clouds by bringing in the original pink, and it's just a little bit more concentrated this time, and I am just blending in over all of the light pink areas. And when you're watercoloring, it does dry lighter, so I always keep that in mind. Okay, I am going to start this otter page in the Woodland watercolor book by Teresa Gray, and I am going to switch to my Meeden Maple Leaf palette. That's what I'm calling it. I have been using this palette. It worked fine. It didn't bead up the paint. I am able to re-wet it and stuff, and I have enjoyed using this, but I'm just running out of a little bit of room on my desk, so I'm going to switch to this palette for now. And I am going to try some wet on wet and do a little bit on camera, but probably most of it I will do off camera. and just show you my results. I have gone to my water cup, so I am using that. I have been using the Meeden brush and it has been fine. I've also been using a few other sizes of brushes, so I will just continue on, and I'll turn the camera on and off as I'm working. I am using my swatch chart to pick my colors, and yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to start off with some ultramarine. I'm going to need quite a bit of it because there's quite a bit of water. So I'm actually going to try wet on wet. So let's use a different brush, and we're going to get the water area damp. And we'll see how well this works. So with the wet on wet technique, you wet the paper first and then you drop wet paint into the damp papered area, and the paint does seem to flow and move on its own, so I think it's a good experiment. Okay, here's how we are doing so far. Paints are working really well. They're wet really well, really easy. I'm not having any problems activating anything. I have combined a few colors, and I do like how this page is turning out. I am going to do this otter over here, and because the rest of this is still a little bit damp and I don't want the colors to run into it, but this guy is probably my driest area, and so let's try it. I'm going to take a look at these colors, and I think I'm going to go with dark ochre because I've also used that elsewhere, and I've also been using this ochre, the trees and stuff, so trying to use some of the same colors over and over, but just different shades on it. I am not a watercolor expert. I only watercolor for my own enjoyment, and that's why this isn't a tutorial, because I am not qualified by any stretch of the imagination to provide any guidance. Let's take, and we're gonna, this is a number 8 round, and it might be a little bit big because it does hold a lot of paint, but we'll start and we'll do some of this fellow. Not exactly sure the color of river otters. I probably have it all wrong. I should have looked at some reference photos, but we're gonna go with that. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the light ochre color and blend the two together. I'm dry brushing this on and just having some fun playing around. Okay, we'll let him dry. But I think he kind of blends in. This guy here, I might do a little bit of a lighter color. So I might bring in some gray. And I am using it onto the palette first and watering it down. There. Just thought he might have a lighter underside. This hatching area is where I'm putting the darker colors. So here is how we're going, or how we're doing. I'm just going to finish off the trees in the background and just kind of putting on some color and mixing some of the greens together. And then I will come in once everything is done and probably tighten things up with a little bit of painting on top. But so far no problems with the paint. I have been having fun, and yeah, just working away, and I'm not sure how realistic this is, but that's okay. We're having fun, and I will you will see this finished completed page in the September completed pages video, and hopefully everything turns out as I kind of expect. So now that I have a base color on everything, I will come in and darken up some areas and tighten up some areas. But I thought I would bring you back and show you how this is looking so far. I will turn the camera off now, and like I said, I will either do at the end of this video a completed picture so you can see it, and now I will switch to the next book, which is Maria Trolle's Shooting Star. Okay, for the last painting we are going to work in the Shooting Star book by Maria Trolle. I am not treating this paper, so this is there's nothing on the other side, so this page is starting out very smooth and flat, and we'll see how it goes. It is space timber, so I did want to use a variety of watercolors on here. I will also probably come in with colored pencil afterwards to complete this, and maybe some Staedtler pigment pens. But for now, let's go ahead and start with her face and skin. I want to try the pastel or the macaron ones over here, and specifically I want to try using the one called, let me just grab this sheet here, it's called Bisque and then Peach Orange. So I'm going to use those colors, and I'm going to bring it onto a palette because I want to get a bunch, because it's quite a large face area. Okay, so I've got some here. I'm going to start down below, and I'm using wet on dry, so that means that I'm leaving the paper dry and I'm just painting the pigment or the watercolor directly onto it. Because this is not treated paper with sizing, wet on wet doesn't really work. It buckles the paper way too much. So, and this skin color is looking great. I thought about having like a green skin color, but I just can't think that far out of the box. So we are going to stick with kind of a regular skin color, and I can come in later and shade with colored pencil, but I think that's really pretty. So that is the color Bisque, and yeah, so I will continue to work on her face, and I will bring you back when I have more things to color. I think I'm also going to do the background, or maybe, yeah, I believe I will be doing the background on this. So I'll bring you back when I do that for sure. If I start with the base layer of the skin tone, like I said, I'll bring in some colored pencil to deepen up shadows and contour her face and stuff. But this is a nice color. Just make sure I have all of the skin covered. And if I want to do a little bit of the other color right above that, which is called Peach Orange, I'm going to mix that in with the Bisque on my palette. So far these paints have been mixing well together. I haven't had any problems, and I'm just going to do a few little darker areas. And I'm going to also bring just a clean brush and just kind of blend those out a bit. Just give her a little bit of definition, keeping the water to a minimum. I'm just bringing in a little bit of darker colors on the sides. So again, I mixed the peach orange with the bisque. Not sure how that's looking on camera. Just using a little bit of a just a plain wet brush to smooth things out. We don't need any harsh lines. And the paper is great for non-watercolor paper. But again, I do want to be careful not to use too much water. Whereas on the watercolor paper, I didn't fret too much about that. Okay, I'm going to let this dry just a little bit under her lips. But yeah, I think she looks good. Okay, we'll let that dry and I'll pick some colors for around the rest of the background. Okay, I'm going to do a black sky here, and I am going to start off using the color black, and then I'm on top of that, so I'll put that on and I'll let it dry. I'm also going to bring in, we have a metallic silver gray and a metallic Mars black, and I'm going to also put that on there as well. So we will put a base layer down, and then I'm going to let it dry, and then we will add the metallic on top. And that way I shouldn't have to do 2 layers of metallic, because I don't want everything to be shiny. I just think that having some metallic swirled in there would look kind of cool. So I am going to just start with the black, and going to use my larger paintbrush, and this is the black, and I'm going to put it on my palette, because again there is a lot of area here, so I'm going to need quite a bit. And if I can mix it once, then that's even better. I'll add some water to this. I'm going to put down a parchment paper just so my hand is not resting on leaving any marks on the lady. And I'm going to kind of follow the direction of the circle. So if there are any lines, they're not as noticeable. Going right over top of these cloud things, because I will come in with a gel pen later. Just being careful. I'm not sure what color hair she's going to have. The paint seems to be moving pretty well on this paper. I'm not having any issues moving it around, so that's kind of nice. Okay, you get the idea. I will continue on with this and bring you back when I'm ready to bring in some of the metallic. It is starting to buckle a little bit here, so I'm not going to continue working this paper area. I'm going to move on to the rest of the page. Okay, so in the absence, I used the color Metallic Light Purple to do her lips and a few of the planets. I used a purple glaze pen to do her eyes, and now I'm going to do Rust Red. That color, it's a really nice dark red, and I'm going to do a couple of the other planets. And yeah, so some of these planets will be metallic and shiny, and some will just be painted regular. And I thought that this color was pretty cool. And I do like to do, when I bring in a color, I like to use it in more than one spot, so it's not the, that doesn't appear on the page just once. And try not to leave large pools of paint, because those will dry and look splotchy, although it is a planet, so that's probably okay. And I think I'll do one more over here. Now the black is almost dry, and it does look patchy, but that is what happens with the first coat. You do need to let it dry before doing another coat so that it doesn't soak through the paper, as the likelihood is less. So that's how it's looking so far. Still haven't decided on her hair, but I may use the color that I'm currently doing right now and do a bit of a lighter wash. So I may actually bring in a little bit of water and dilute this color a bit. So this is the rust red. I haven't selected a color palette this time. I'm just kind of going for it. Now I did accidentally touch her ear there, so I'm going to come in quickly here with a clean watered brush and just try and lift that spot off. There we go. So I keep a clean brush to the side just for that exact purpose. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'll keep doing, and I'll bring you back when I have a little bit more to show you. Okay, I've taken some of the metallic Mars black and I've mixed it in with on my palette to the black that I already had from before. There's a little bit of dry paint there, so I've mixed those two together, and I'm going to go over these areas here that seem to be kind of cloud-like. So I'm just going to go over those so that they will be still black, but they'll be a different black, and we'll see how that looks. It's definitely shiny, so that's kind of fun, and that's quite a bit more opaque than just the plain black was. Now that I've used the brick red on her hair, I may come and put a little bit of metallic paint on top of the planets that are also brick red, because I don't want there to be too much of that color on the page. So when you do see this final page, you may see some differences. So just pointing that out. I like that. And we've also got these clouds that were down here. So I'm just gonna, and I kind of totally painted them black before. So I'm just going to add the clouds back in here, and they may or may not be exactly as they were before, because it's a little bit hard to see. So that's what I'll do on this side as well, and I'll look around on some other spots. The rest of this is still quite patchy, but don't worry, or just more of the black, and I also have the silver metallic that I can bring in. In the meantime, I'll finish working on these clouds here and try a few more other things. All right. Okay, the extra black coating has dried, and with me mixing the metallic paint in it, it really did good. So these areas here that I did with just basically metallic, I will outline with a gel pen to bring them forward a little bit. But in the meantime, the planets that I did with the same color as her hair, I'm actually going to go and add a little bit of the metallic red on top of those planets so that they're just a little bit different. I don't want them the same as her hair because they're getting lost. So I'm just going to add some metallic on top, and because I'm adding the metallic on top of a color that's already there, I probably will only need one coat, which will be excellent. I'm really enjoying these paints. I have had no issues with them so far. I'm quite happy. I think that's enough for a review on the paints. I am happy. They have been moving well on this paper, even though there's no sizing, and it's performing exactly as I expected it to. There is a giveaway, and the full explanation of the giveaway of a set of these 96 paints direct from Meeden will be in the a separate section in this video where I explain all the details. Okay, a few more touches. I thought I would do a little bit of gold with you before leaving this, because gold is a color that a lot of us colorists use. There are a few different gold-like colors on here. There's a metallic sunlight gold, metallic royal gold, this light bronze, I would say, and this pale yellow also could be kind of a goldy color. So yeah, those, I'm going to go with metallic sunlight gold. I've got some water on the pan right now, letting it pre-moisten, and I've also switched to a 3/0 Princeton spotter brush. So this is a very, very tiny, and that's because some of these stars are super tiny. So I am going to attempt to do a few of the stars in this metallic gold, see how it looks. If I like it, I'll continue. If I don't like it, then I'll leave the stars for a gel pen, because sometimes that's just easier. I did do a dark blue. So I took the indigo, which is not very dark, and I added it to my black that was already on my palette. So it really deepened it up, and that actually turned out to be a beautiful indigo color. So wasn't happy with the indigo to start with, but when I added black to it, it's right here now on this one planet, and then I went and did all the little itty bitty dots on the page in that as well. So yeah, so I just thought instead of having silver stars on here, or silver dots or white dots, I would come in with the dark blue for a change. So yeah, so just trying to switch up my colors for a little bit of fun. I think the gold should be almost ready. And when I'm using metallics, I am, and I'll bring the palette over for you to have a look at, I am using it directly on, so stirring right on there and getting the most pigment from the metallic on my paintbrush. If I do need to dab it off, I will dab it off on like a palette if I've got a little bit too much on there, and then come in, and I'll zoom you down hopefully. And I'm leaving the black outline there on purpose. Sometimes I like to cover up the lines, sometimes I like to leave them showing. So let's move this down a bit, and I will do this star right here. Putting on a heavier application so that I don't have to do 2 coats was the hope. Okay, I'm going to let that dry and see how I like it. I might do one more star over here. Okay, like I said, we'll leave that dry and we'll see how shiny it is in the end. Just make sure I've got this one covered. This is how our celestial girl is looking so far, and yeah, I'm excited. Okay, final look at the 3 pictures that I completed using the Meeden 96 watercolor palette. Remember, this is the palette that Meeden has decided to graciously donate us to celebrate their 10-year anniversary. So please read the video description. I hope you all enter. It's simply as easy as following Meeden and filling out the entry form that is attached to this video. It's a Google Doc form. As I mentioned, I am the only one with that information, and I get rid of it after the draw. So thank you again to Meeden. Let's take a quick look at my completed pages. This is the Woodland Watercolor book, and we did some work on the otter page. And here's how it turned out. And I have only used the Meeden paints on this, except for the background I did with some polychromos. So I just decided to finish that off with polychromos, but that's the only spot that I have used any coloring pencil on. So I think it turned out pretty good. I was going to add a bunch more items, but I think I'm just going to stop and leave it there because that's kind of fun just the way it is. This is the shooting star page for Space Timber. I'm really pleased how this turned out. I hope you agree. I think that the paints worked really well on this paper. There's really almost no buckling. I feel quite confident that I'll have no problems coloring the other side. I did use a little bit of Celestial washi tape at the top and bottom that kind of complemented the colored theme I was going on. I did use some bronze signal on top and some white gel pen, and then the swirls from the stars are polychromos, but the rest is the Meeden paint. And I think she turned out really lovely. Happy with how this page turned out, and I will be posting this on Instagram with also the information about the draw. And then the last page, or the first page we actually worked on, but was the last page I will share with you just because of the size. And this is how it turned out. And the only thing I have added to this page is a few lines of white gel pen. Otherwise, everything on here is the Meeden paint. Really happy with how this turned out. This is good quality watercolor paper. Absolutely no buckling. Really nice feel to the paper itself. There is some nice gloss from the metallic watercolor there. And happy with how this turned out. So thank you again to Meeden, and thank you for watching me complete some of these pages, and I hope you take a look at the Meeden website to see what else they have on sale celebrating their 10-year anniversary. Again, links are in the video description. I hope you have a creative and colorful day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.